Before we start, I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It helps me keep sharing real-life stories like this. And I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please share them in the comments. It began with a laugh I'll never forget. We were at a small get-together with her friends, drinks in hand, music humming in the background. Everything seemed casual and normal, until she turned to me with that smirk, the one I used to love, and said, "I've got some new rules for you." At first, I laughed too, thinking she was joking, but the way her friends leaned in curious, and how she straightened her posture, made it clear this wasn't playful. She was serious. I felt a knot tighten in my chest, an instinctive warning that something was off. New rules. I asked cautiously. "Yes," she said, with that unnerving confidence. "From now on, you'll do this, you'll do that." She rattled off a list of demands, some small, some humiliating, all designed to control and embarrass me in front of everyone. And the laughter started, not from her, but from her friends. They thought it was a game, a joke. But it wasn't. Something in me shifted at that moment. I realized I had been tolerating subtle changes in her behavior for months without acknowledging them. The late-night calls she claimed were from work. The texts she hurriedly hid when I walked into the room. The excuses that never quite made sense. They had all been warning signs. I started questioning myself. Was I imagining it? Was I overreacting? But deep down, I knew the answer. The signs had been there for weeks. The whispered phone calls, the sudden disappearances when she claimed she needed air, the tiny inconsistencies in her stories. They all added up. I had brushed them off at first, telling myself I was being insecure. But now, standing in the living room while she outlined these new rules, I couldn't ignore the pattern anymore. I listened to her list, my stomach twisting. The friends laughed, the music hummed, the glasses clinked. Everything around me blurred. I felt a surge of anger and humiliation, but also a strange, piercing clarity. I realized that compliance was optional. Respect for myself was not. When she finally finished, I didn't speak at first. I could feel the room holding its breath, her friends waiting for me to play along, waiting for the joke. But I didn't. "No," I said quietly at first, then louder, firmer. "I won't do this." The laughter died instantly. Her eyes widened. Disbelief etched across her face. I could see the tension ripple through the room. She tried to protest, to laugh it off, to call me dramatic, but I held my ground. I had seen too much, endured too much, and I wasn't about to let someone else dictate my dignity. After that night, everything changed. I began noticing the subtler signs of her betrayal, the ways she had been manipulating situations, hiding messages, bending reality in front of her friends. It was in the way she would brush off my questions, the small gifts she claimed came from co-workers but didn't, the laughter that seemed directed at someone else when I wasn't looking. I discovered messages I wasn't meant to see, words between her and men I didn't know, intimate and casual at once, that left no room for innocent interpretation. I felt the walls of my life collapsing. Every memory, every shared joke, every quiet moment we had now carried a sting I couldn't ignore. I confronted her months later, alone in our apartment. Her voice was defensive, her eyes avoiding mine. "I didn't want to hurt you," she said. "I didn't know how to tell you." But words can't undo actions. They can't restore trust shattered in front of a room full of people. They can't erase the humiliation of being commanded to obey like a joke while your dignity hangs in the balance. I realized that closure wouldn't come from her admission. It had to come from me, from reclaiming my life and my self-respect. I spent weeks in reflection, revisiting memories that now felt tainted. Every laugh, every inside joke, every moment that had once been tender. Was it real? Or was it all part of a story she was weaving to hide the truth? I wrestled with lingering love and the raw pain of betrayal. I mourned not just a relationship, but the person I thought I knew. And then I made a decision. Not out of anger, not out of vengeance, but from self-preservation. I stopped bending. I stopped excusing behavior that hurt me. I rebuilt boundaries that had been crossed so easily, and in doing so, I started to feel like myself again. My life, my choices, my dignity, they mattered more than any facade she tried to maintain. In the end, I didn't have a dramatic confrontation with friends or public exposure. I quietly reclaimed my space, my life, my heart. She left eventually, with her smirk and her games, and I didn't chase. I learned that letting go doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong. I learned that betrayal, humiliation, and disappointment can be teachers, showing you where your limits are and how much courage you have. Now, when I think back to that night, I don't feel only pain. I feel clarity. I feel the strength of a man who refused to be humiliated, who refused to compromise his dignity for anyone. I feel the slow rebuilding of a life rooted in respect, honesty, and self-worth. And I know that no one has the right to make rules for me. Not in front of friends, not in private, not ever. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe to my channel for more real-life, emotionally gripping stories. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your experiences, your lessons, and how you reclaimed your life after betrayal.